I can be mad about it all I want, but for this one, yeah, you can groan all you want, people. So first things first. We gotta make sure he doesn't go in my direction. Yep, that's right, bitch. Now, let's make sure. Just keep shooting. It's a long fight, but this isn't about playing fair. It's a fight where it's like, yeah, unless you're doing PvE, there's no such thing as playing fair here. It's not a matter if, but when. Okay? I got a certain rhythm going on, man. And she's dead. We shall take demon soul power beyond human recognition. Now, whoo! That's it. He's not there anymore either. We made it, folks. Oh my god. Bear in mind, this is one of the premier PlayStation 5 games. But there's a sense of reference that I have towards this. Alright, so. Where is it? Pure blood demon soul. Astraea. Became demon. Yep. Let's talk to everyone before we go. Because this is it.
Tan solo tuviera la fuerza. Estamos en deuda contigo por pelear por nosotros. Forjaré el arma que desees. Regresa conmigo. Dependo de tus pedidos.
Talk to everyone before it's time. I always want to say my goodbyes.
Que los cielos estén a tu favor. Umbasa.
Ah, eres tú de nuevo. ¿Tienes algo más que ofrecer?
Oh yeah, I offered the truth.
¿De dónde proviene ese aullido? No es un demonio. Se escucha como un pobre niño hambriento. ¿Tienes alguna idea de lo que podría ser? Por alguna razón me provoca un fuerte desasosiego. Que Dios nos proteja. Que nos bendiga junto con Boletaria. Umbasa. Que Dios nos Umbasa.
Oh, gracias a Dios, Umbasa.
That's all you gotta say, boy.
Oh, Umbasa.
That's all he gotta say, really. So now let's check the other side of the team. Ah, my bad. Before we level up and everything, the last ever.
Me pides que te enseñe magia.
No.
Además, si me capturaran a mí también, ¿quién está?
No one cares. You.
Viniste por más. Muy bien. Pero temo que Freyk también optó.
They're still in their own limbo. But here we are.
Escucho el sonido de una voz ancestral. El antiguo te está llamando. Sígueme, te llevaré a su guarida.
There we go. Whee! I'm like, where the heck am I at? Oh shit, the old one. Pure Lovecraftian nightmare. Vagina dentata.
Antiguo, he cumplido tu deseo.
Oh, you granted his wish. A new demon. Are you kidding me? Really? This is what he really wanted? It almost feels like she baited us. But then again... Yeah. I just look at everything from everyone that's come before. This tells me others have been here. Let's take a look at everything here. Because I'm like, damn. Looking around, because I'm like, damn. This everything that was once before. And the interesting about it is, all this kind of reminds me of the Ringed City from Dark Souls 3. It almost feels like looking at all these, everything that we see here, feels like it was a foreshadowing of what was to come. Granted, the meaning is different back on the PS3 version, whereas the remake here, the new context as well, Elden Ring. Because look at all these rings and circles, some of them almost look like the runes. It does feel low-key like this was a foreshadowing of what was to come. That's a sword that broke and fell down below, too.
Sígueme, te llevaré a su guarida. Sígueme.
Follow you, or you're following me?
El antiguo te eligió. ¿Irás en busca de las eternas almas demoníacas? ¿O acaso el monumental te impide ver la realidad? Sea cual sea tu decisión, eres nuestra primera visita. Te damos la bienvenida.
Huh. Thinks the monumental blinded us.
Sin duda ya lo has visto. El dolor y sufrimiento hacen ese mundo. Pero Dios es compasivo. Por eso creó al antiguo. Un veneno para acabar con otro. El antiguo se alimentará de nuestras
This was left of you a lot, man. Damn.
Ignorante. ¿Acaso no lo entiendes? Nadie desea continuar.
So, yep, it's the point of no return. Ain't that something?
Tu misión ha terminado.
1 second.
Mata demonios, volvamos a la superficie. El Nexo ya no te retendrá.
That's it. We're done with the Nexus and all this. We're gonna let her do her thing, because, yeah.
Sosegaré al antiguo para que vuelva a su letargo.
I just hate knowing that we put him back to sleep, but we don't get rid of him. It's almost like the old one is immortal. You know what I mean? That thing's stupid.
El antiguo y yo volveremos al letargo. Así debe ser. Ya puedes irte. Vuelve a tu mundo.
That's goodbye,
Te doy
Priestess.
las gracias. Después de tanto, finalmente Pude cumplir mi tarea.
Just let her be. Just let her be. Let it all come to an end. You know what I mean?
El antiguo, junto con la dama, fueron arrastrados hacia la niebla adormecedora. Boletaria finalmente se libró de los demonios, pero también perdió todo conocimiento de las artes del alma.
Screw it, let it all go away.
Las almas perdidas en el caos jamás se volvieron a recuperar. Y ahora queda un monumental para mantener unido el tejido de este mundo tan maleante. Una nueva alma valiente, con un poder inimaginable.
That's right, all of you two. Go back to the shithole you came from. Whew, we did it, folks. We freaking did it. Now, here's what I do want to do. I want to acknowledge this game for what it was. All right. First, it was a remake, but if you really think about it, they didn't remake anything. They gave it a full PS5 graphical uplift, but they didn't actually remake the game. Like, there's nothing really remade about it. Like, all the gameplay mechanics, all the tactics, even all the glitches and bugs from the PS3 version, completely untouched. It's the same. Nothing's been changed. The boss fights still work the same. The glitch with the elevators that killed the projection of King Allant never patched. So all they did was PS5 graphics and sound. But to be fair, I love it. It was great. I enjoyed it. And I appreciate the fact that this is the beginning of where it all began. I would have to read that later because I hate that the credits run so fast. But shout out to Sony for giving us a remake of Demon Souls. Because you gotta think about it, this is the beginning of everything with Hidetaka Miyazaki. Like, this is where all of Souls began, right here. So for me, going from Elden Ring to Demon Souls, whew, it's a big detachment. More so than Bloodborne or even Dark Souls 3. Wow. Damn. And of course, I chose the good ending for this one. Wow. So, graphically, it's beautiful. Looks better than the original, in my opinion. I've heard debates, about how certain things were taken away that were in the original version, but I like this. I enjoyed it. This is the first game where you have no choice but to get good with the tools you're given. There's, if they want to, in this remake, and again, this goes back to my critique, this was more of a PS5 remaster, not a remake. Because if they did a remake, one, they would have given us a jump button. They would have given us a jump button, number one. Number two, they would have given us some sort of system to respec our stats in case if we goofed. Because, yeah. And they probably would have made it a little more clear-cut in terms of the character and world tendency type stuff. Because there are times where I can't tell if I'm in dark tendency, per se, unless, like, the eye is, like, red and black. And that's what it's like, oh, yeah, I done fucked up. and you can't tell if you're neutral or you're neutral light tendency. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but when you notice it, it's like, oh, okay, cool. I could fuck with that. Okay, graphically, I could tell this is made from the ground up for PS5. That's an introduction, and almost a reminder of the roots of where FromSoftware really cut their teeth when it comes to the Souls genre. Like, this is where it all began. And granted, it has a, you know what's interesting about this? It has something very similar where the only similarity you see in other Souls games is in Dark Souls 2, where the race to the boss is harder than the boss themselves. And I've noticed that a lot when it comes to a lot of playthroughs of Dark Souls 2, where they be like, hey, getting there is harder than the fight itself. And I've noticed that even here in World 5, the fights are actually, the boss fights are actually significantly easier compared to getting there. You know what other game has a history of doing this? I'll give you a minute. Castlevania. For example, Rondo of Blood. Yeah, I died a lot of times to the boss fights, but I died significantly more getting to them than actually fighting them. And mind you, Rondo of Blood had 0 checkpoints. None. God bless your soul if you're able to even find one, because there ain't none. Symphony of the Night was a walk in the park in contrast. So you gotta think about that. Again, graphically, you could tell this was a very solid introduction to the potential of PlayStation 5's graphics. Like, would you be able to have a Demon's Souls remake look this good on the PS4? No. They would have had to sacrifice something. They definitely would have had to sacrifice the frame rate. And the reason I say this, for example, another game that used to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive or even PlayStation 4 exclusive was Final Fantasy VII Remake, right? Final Fantasy VII Remake, it released on the PS4 and the PS5, right? And on the PS4, graphically it looked great. But guess what? The frame rate was kind of locked at 30 frames per second just to retain the visuals, right? Whereas on the PS5 version, so for example, I got the Final Fantasy VII Remake for free as a freebie at one point when I had the PS4 before I upgraded to PS5. Upgrade to PS5 version, you actually have the option of performance or graphics, right? Performance meaning faster frame rate, graphics not as super clear, but it still ends up looking freaking great anyway. Or you go with making it look PS5 levels good, which, you know, in retrospect, the textures really showed a lot of fabric and details, really look good. But the frame rate was kind of like PS4. So, you know, there would have been a compromise. And chances are people would have whined and bitched if this remake, had been released on the PS4 with a locked 30 frames per second just to keep the visuals intact. Because people already threw a little hissy fit about Bloodborne launching on PS4 with 30 frames per second. Even though, for some weird reason, I find that Bloodborne flows a lot faster than Dark Souls 3, arguably. Like, how is it that you're 30 frames per second, but yet your flow is faster and more precise than Dark Souls 3, which was released a year or two later and was supposed to be locked at 60 frames per second, yet I've seen frame inconsistencies there compared to Bloodborne. Sometimes the flow is just better. But yeah, and then now, looking at this now, and acknowledging how Kadokawa is partially owned by Sony now. So Sony has a little bit of pull with FromSoftware. Again, not much, just a cinch. Let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. Because that's why FromSoftware has Dustbloods coming out for the Switch 2, whenever that is, next year. Because, well, FromSoftware, you know, they're getting in the habit now where, and I think we need to anticipate this moving forward, the next major FromSoftware game won't be Bandai Namco. It'll be just from software. Which is why when we saw the announcements of Dust Bloods for the Switch 2, all you saw was from software and Nintendo. That was it. So that will be interesting to see how things move forward from there with From Software in regards to their franchises and everything. But again, visually and ambience, holy shit, I love this game. This game is awesome. I feel like it really showed the potential of what PS5 is capable of. Arguably more than Final Fantasy 16. Don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy 16 cutscenes were absolute cinema. A beautiful story, but man, textures and details were so hit and miss. There were times where I had to readjust my brightness and contrast settings of the game itself, not my TV. Because at first I thought it might have been my TV. I have a 4K TV with 60 hertz, but even then, it's like I barely had to adjust anything for Demon Souls Remake here on the PS5. Like, left it as is and it looks fine. Maybe I put a slight wintry filter that's actually available in the game, but that was it. But those of you who tuned in and got to see me suffer this game, thank you so much. I will edit this once it's all over, and what I will do is again, update timestamps and everything, and I'll also reference you guys at the end of the video to the whole playlist of my playthrough. Once again, those that just hearing me talk about this now, in case you didn't know, when I first did my New Game Plus playthrough of this game, I had the unfortunate occurrence of where the first 2 boss fights did not record on Twitch for whatever unforeseen reason. That pissed me the fuck off. Because then all you got was, you got none of 1-1 and 1-2. You didn't get to see me beat the Phalanx. You didn't get to see me beat the Penetrator. All you got to see me do is, the giant tower, giant whatever, and everything else. So, but then again, it was my first time streaming through my PS5 also, and other shenanigans be damned. And moving forward, I'm strictly going to be on YouTube with streaming, unless otherwise. But once again, everyone tuned in, thank you so much. Subscribe to Ron322, and I will definitely catch you next one. Now, for those of you that are still here after I said all this, I still have more episodes of Expedition 33 dropping here on the channel. Because again, I beat the game. Thing is, I streamed the whole thing through Twitch and then been, loading everything up here, in timely fashion. Definitely tune in on that. I'm dropping episodes at least every other day. Originally, I had made it French Friday, where I'd be dropping it on Fridays, but eventually I was like, you know what, let me just drop it, as soon as available. And of course, I'll always announce it before I drop the video. Mainly because the algorithm seems to punish me every time I don't post anything for a week. Kind of buries me a little bit. So in order to kind of circumvent that, be like, you know what, make sure it's here, drop a new video, drop shorts of the video, and if there's any boss fights, make clips out of it so you guys can watch it separate from the episodes themselves to your liking, and and let that be that. So all part of the learning experience, So once again, Ron322 signing out. Catch you on the next one.